Man, we are back. The season's about done. We had a lot of sad
Man,
owners last week, man. I know you're one
I
of them.
lost. I lost by
Yeah.
.65 because Christian Watson didn't turn around on the goal line. He
Aaron
catches that
Rodgers.
pass, PPR. Even if he
Yeah.
doesn't score, if he just catches the pass, I win. I go on to the finals because it's only a 4-person playoff. So that hurts. I'm still alive in 3 leagues, so got to bring home this money.
Got to. You said dropped 2 already. Aaron Rodgers was pissed at Christian Watson too. Pissed as hell. So you might be the only guy in America more mad than Aaron Rodgers was in that play. But somehow football is about done. Let's just go ahead and get right into it. No need to beat around the bush. Some guys
Crazy
really
week.
crazy week. I would say probably the craziest week in sports history, but definitely football was insane. I mean, you had a 30-point comeback, the 2 overtime games, the Jaguars win on a same play, obviously the Patriots and the Raiders. I mean, wow.
Yeah, I think there were like 3 walk-off touchdowns just on Sunday alone. And then you had the largest comeback with the Vikings. Bills
On
Dolphins
Saturday,
was great. Yep. And the World Cup final, if you want to throw that into football.
Football.
Unbelievable game.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Goat Messi.
Shout out. Had to get him one before he took out of here. Had to get one real quick.
Hey, Mbappe's coming, but yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get into it. Pat Fryermuth starting off with an egg.
An egg in the playoffs?
Egg. Oh,
I know he cost somebody. He cost somebody a playoff this week for sure. He's been a tight end, like you said. He's been consistent. He hasn't had like any great weeks, but his floor has been like 5 to 6 points. You knew with Kenny Pickett out, it could be some issues, but a goose egg in the playoffs, that's not what you want to see.
He's been right in like that 5 to 7 range, like below Hawkinson, but
Yeah.
above, some of these guys. We did get to see Dawson Knox go off a little bit on Saturday night, which was nice to see if you started him in the playoffs. Shout out to you. But tight end's been rough. I know you talked about it last week. Mark Andrews didn't help you really at all Saturday.
No, Mark, that's 4 straight games. Not sure if Lamar's going to be back this week. So
doesn't look like it.
Like I said, we talked about it last week, how it was a risky play to bench Mark Andrews. You get into it now, like this is conference championships. You're 1 game from the title. If you got a better tight end option, I mean, you really have to start considering if I cannot play Mark Andrews here, because it's not looking like there's going to be any upside to what's going on in that offense. A lot of chaos.
Yeah, and I kind of feel bad because I think I might have jinxed Justin Tucker last week because he missed 2 field goals for the first time, and who knows when. But
probably his career almost.
We won't talk about kickers anymore, so we don't got to worry about that.
Devontae Adams, your boy, man. That hurt.
I told you.
All those points scored, and Devontae Adams gave you a 4-point fantasy game in the playoffs.
What did Bill Belichick do?
He sent home one of our toughest opponents in my fantasy league, so I appreciate that. Good looks, Devontae.
Bill Belichick will always take away your best player, no matter what.
Yep.
Other people were kind of hurting him. Jacobs looked good. Mac Hollins played well. Waller caught that touchdown, but Bill's like, Devontae Adams is not going to beat us. We'll lose on our own accord, I guess.
He's not ready to talk about that yet.
I wouldn't.
The craziest play in history.
The players like Stevenson, Mac Jones, Jacoby Myers, they all stood up there. They took accountability for it. That's takes a lot to stand up to the media after that play.
Yeah.
So, hey, I think they're going to bounce back from that because that's something that it hurts, but it's only going to make you stronger.
Yeah, I mean, they handled that press conference way better than Gio Bernard handled his press conference after the fake punt. He gave the media a handful. So, I mean, they handled it a lot better than he did.
Yeah, but the media didn't need to throw shots at Gio like
they were on Gio's hand. I think they asked. I think one reporter asked, "What have you done all year to make me want to do a report on you?"
That.
Yeah, that was so out of pocket. And these reporters are disrespectful.
Go take your journalism degree and fucking get out of here.
Yeah, I would have told that dude to go punch Sam for sure. So he handled that pretty decent in comparison. But just a crazy week, man. I just can't get over how crazy week it is. Colts are still bad. Yeah, very bad. They're still struggling. Tom Brady's still struggling. Offensive line struggling. They got some issues there. Another team that's got issues the last 3 weeks, and the player that's probably hurting some owners now is Amari Cooper. Him and the Deshaun Watson pair has not worked out yet. That's 4 straight games since Deshaun's been back. Well, 3 straight games since Deshaun's been back, where he's been underneath 7 fantasy points. Another weekly dub for Amari Cooper.
Man, it's been tough. That offense looks. I mean, they got the dub, but for fantasy wise, for production wise, they're not giving you what you need.
No.
And I don't know if you keep, going into now they're playing the Saints, which is a pretty good defense. It's not a good team, I don't think, but I think it's going to be another tough matchup for those Brownies.
Yeah, if you're a Amari Cooper owner, David Njoku owner, Diamond People Jones owner, like you said, the offense has not been looking good this week. We'll talk about it later, but Chubb looks a little bit banged up too. So a lot of question marks in Cleveland for sure.
I do want to get to an offense that's been absolutely buzzing. A guy that, just won me my week. And we're going to watch this guy tomorrow. Number 1 pick. He's looked awesome the last month. Trevor Lawrence and the Jags are maybe a playoff team.
They're looking pretty good. I don't know if I can say playoff team yet because it's the Jags. They're one of those cursed franchises as well. They'll find a way to lose a game. But, yeah, like right in line with that, Trevor Lawrence has looked good. ETN's finding his footing. But shout out Zay Jones.
Man, he was
shout out Zay. I mean,
I can't believe it. I want to start him again, but it's a Thursday game against the Jets. He's probably going to have sauce on him a little bit. Like, I don't know if I can trust it, but Zay Jones, you will forever be in my good graces.
31 fantasy points. You were starter sit all day about him, and something right about picking him over DJ Moore just worked out. Like DJ Moore started off with the early touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
You texted me like, "Oh shit, I messed up." And I was like, "Chill, give Zay some time."
And Zay still had 15, but 30 from Zay. I don't think it really mattered who I started in my league. Fortunately, I had a good enough week. Mahomes went off.
But it felt good.
Man, Zay Jones, hell yeah, let's go.
We needed that.
Another guy I want to touch on, I talked about him last week and just threw his name out there. Another big week for this guy, Jerick McKinnon.
You nailed it. You mentioned it last week. I even think I might have laughed at you if we play back the clips. But yeah, you know that shit. Jerick McKinnon, game-winning touchdown too, on top of the monster game that he had.
Yeah, he's clearly the receiving threat in that backfield. And Pacheco had a fumble. They still kind of went to him, but after he fumbled, they brought Ronald Jones in. McKinnon's going to get his touches, at least in the backfield, and then we know he's going to get his reception. So McKinnon's crept up to flex play.
Weekly.
And there's a pretty good matchup this week.
How about your boy Kirk Cousins coming up big in one of the craziest games that you ever see?
Kirk Thuggins.
I'm sure he yelled on the way back to the locker room. You like that? Like, come on. 42 fantasy points for Kirk. If you started him this week because you had some quarterbacks hurt, which many people do, I know he made you a happy fantasy owner. So shout out to that Vikings offense.
Man, you're probably watching that game down 33-0 at halftime. Like,
I'm cooked.
What is going on? This is done.
I'm cooked. Dalvin Cook's been playing bad. Everyone's bad.
The Vikings actually released like an 8-minute video about the comeback from like the field pass, and they had like, coaches on mic'd up. It was really good. So I highly recommend watching that. Crazy comeback. I can't believe the Colts. I think we need to talk more about the Colts blowing that than the Vikings, staying in it.
Yeah.
But man, that was ugly.
I told my dad, like, people get fired for these types of moves, like blowing 33-point leads. You get fired for that type of shit. But Jeff Saturday just got there, so they're not going to fire him.
Can't fire a coach.
You got to, like, walk home or something. There's has to be some type of punishment. Get dressed in the hallway. It's some type of punishment for that because that's just, 3 points in the entire second half. That
unacceptable.
Was unacceptable shit. I couldn't believe that. I got to touch on this running back down here in Atlanta. They say he may be the best kept secret. Tyler Algier had a fantastic game, and they say he might be a hidden gem that the Falcons found late in the NFL draft last year.
Yeah, he looked good, which is nice because Ritter didn't look that good. But at least if Ritter's going to keep playing, we know Algier is going to get the receptions. He's going to get a lot of carries. The Falcons are known to run the ball. It hurts Cordero Patterson a little bit for sure.
I was just about to say, yeah.
But that's a guy you've probably been riding to the playoffs and you've been rolling with every time he's been healthy. He's been producing for you. But if Algier is here, then it's a big worry for Patterson.
And finally, to round off the thank you cards for the week, shout out to the ultimate carousel running back. Wherever you need this guy to play at, whatever city, just let him know he'll be there. Latavius Murray had a fantastic game for the Broncos. And I know he saved me in a fantasy league because I need him at the flex spot. Came through clutch.
Bro, I couldn't tell you if Latavius Murray was like 28 or 36. Like,
Probably
he's
both.
somewhere in that range. But he's been awesome for the Broncos in a pretty low season for them. He's been a kind of a bright spot. I know it's not like a flashy rookie or something, but he's just, get your lunch pail and go to work. And that's the type of running back you need in this league.
That's crazy. He's 32, so you hit it right in the middle. Like, he's right in the middle. But he runs like a young guy still. So, yeah, shout out to Latavius, man. He's won some leagues this week. But, man, we got to get right into the injuries. I mean, this is –
It's bad. It's bad.
If you're a quarterback owner going into Week 16, conference championships for fantasy leagues, I mean, you got no Jalen Hurts, no Lamar.
Imagine a lot of people have Jalen Hurts that are in the semis right now.
Me. Yeah.
Like MVP right now, he's been
just picked up Andy Dalton.
Oh.
Just picked up Andy fucking Dalton.
You don't like Flint Minshew?
I see, and I don't know if Gardner's a plug-in. I don't know if that's a plug-and-play offense.
It's a good Dallas D.
It's a good Dallas D, and I really feel that they could come out and kind of ground and pound. I mean, they got 3 running backs who they all love. I could see a lot of Miles Sanders, Boston Scott, Gainwell.
I think we're getting Goddard back though, which gives
Dallas should be
boost.
back.
And they got to get their ball to their playmakers and AJ Brown, Devonta Smith. So I think Minshew actually might be not a plug and play, but definitely consideration if you're looking at guys to start like Dalton or Trace McSorley or
it's tough, man.
Tyler Huntley. It's pretty bleak. I know Russell Wilson didn't play. I don't know his status right now going into
him and Tannehill. Him and Tannehill are the 2 guys who are like, if you could play, I'll probably take those 2 over everything that was just named. But yeah, if you get no Tannehill and no Russell Wilson, I mean, it's either Gardner Minshew or Andy Dalton. As far as
and it really hurts my guy Okonkwo if Tannehill doesn't play, because I cannot start him with Malik Willis.
Nope.
And then with the Ravens, like Duvernay just went down for the whole year. They are really thin at receiver right now.
Shout out Sammy Watkins.
Yep, going back to Baltimore, where I
didn't work out last time.
Yeah. But again, if Huntley's under center, I don't know how much it really helps you.
DeAndre Hopkins. How does you got having Colt McCoy is one thing. Now we're going down. Now we're going to McSorley. I don't know if I can. I'm in a position. I got DeAndre Hopkins. I got Latavius Murray, and I got AJ Dillon. Who do I play at the flex? Because
Dillon's looking good.
He's trying to make.
You've been burned by him.
12 weeks. He burned every fantasy owner for 12 straight weeks, and he has given us 4 dynamic weeks in a row. So, it's definitely risky. I think Latavius is still my favorite over the 2.
Definitely the safest floor in Latavius.
No Tyler Lockett. No Jonathan Taylor for the rest of the season. Yeah. It's going to be a very interesting Week 16. A lot of guys are going to have to step up, and I think managers are going to have to make some risky plays to pull off a win here. Definitely
got to make some bold moves. I know we talked about this, but I don't really know if there's anyone on the waiver wire that you're picking up and starting. If you're doing that, you're either really injured or your team just sucks, and I don't know how you made it here, because the wire in all my leagues are so bad and so thin. The only positions I'm picking up are defense and a kicker if I need to. Maybe a tight end.
I had hit the quarterback waiver wire in the Dynasty League, which is how Andy lands on my team. But, I mean, I've seen Zach Moss get picked up in a couple of leagues, and, I mean, you could start that. But, I mean, from what I just see from the Colts offense of 3 points in the second half, I'm weary. I'm worried to go ahead and start Zach Moss or Deion Jackson, even though Taylor's hurt.
Yeah, I mean, you're not picking up like a Chase Claypool. You're not picking up a Robert Woods. You're not really picking up, I mean, Hayden Hurst maybe, Noah Fant. And then there's Paris Campbell, and we got Nick Foles starting this week. So, there's no one on those wire that I could really consider picking up and playing.
No, you're on your own, guys. We get started tomorrow. Playoff Thursday night football. Fantasy owners, you got the Jags at the Jets. It's gonna be a high-scoring game, or it could end 12-16.
Yeah, Zach Wilson game again.
Yep.
I'm not sure about Quinn Williams. Do you know if he's playing or not for the Jets?
No, he's still questionable from what I saw.
Yeah, because if he doesn't play, I think the Jags might be able to just dominate this game. If he is back, I do give the Jets defense a little bit of an advantage. But the Jags have been rolling, man, and The Jets are coming off a bad loss. I don't really know fantasy-wise who you're playing on that team besides Garrett Wilson. And even then, it's like, can you really trust it?
That's tough. That's really tough. And then the Jag side, I like Christian Kirk. Kirk's been consistent. He's been a big name. You like Travis Etienne, obviously. Zay. I think Zay's the one person that you kind of have to circle. Maybe Sauce guards the other way a little bit more. You don't know.
Is it going to be on Marvin Jones? Is it going to be Powell?
Sauce could be anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, the Lions did a good job. They didn't throw to him once. So he's basically, Nami Asamoah, Revis Island.
That's what he shut it down over there.
But yeah, I think Ingram and Zay Jones are the kind of question marks where it's a Thursday game. If this was a Sunday game, I think you feel a little bit better about it. But short week, I just feel like this is going to be a fast-paced, a lot of rushing. I'm not sure who I like besides Trevor Lawrence and Christian Kirk.
Yeah, and Etienne. I was going to say definitely Etienne. Weird week. A bunch of Saturday games this week because of the holiday. So we kick off at 1:00 on Saturday. Falcons at the Ravens. This is a
oh my God.
Probably around the red light area. I mean, you got the name of Mark Andrews on the Ravens side. That's it. That's haunting you if you
Dobbins has looked good. I will say Dobbins look good. It's just
I think you can play JK.
Yeah, I think so too. Just because he's shown
at least
in the last 2 weeks.
At least at the flex spot.
You're really missing that breakaway speed because he's had 2 carries the last 2 weeks where I think old JK pre-surgery just takes that to the house.
He's gotten hawked a few times, yeah. On the Falcons side, you can maybe go Tyler. If you're filling the flex spot, he had a good
maybe Cordero.
Yeah. I'm not touching the receivers. I'm not touching the quarterback. Ritter did not look good. I see no life in that side of the offense there. This could be a very gross game for fantasy owners. I'd probably
we're gonna get a lot of cold games.
Yep.
It's gonna be freezing this weekend. I know the Panthers game is gonna be. We're talking about this next. Panthers Lions. It's supposed to be the coldest game in Panthers franchise history.
That's good for the Lions.
Yeah, I think the Lions are gonna try to come in, run the ball. Panthers actually do have a good secondary. Their defense is better than people give them credit for, but the offense has not been good on the Panthers side. Besides, DJ Moore, even then, I don't even know if you're starting him.
You're starting him. They're playing the Lions. Again, this is proven to be one of the worst team defenses we've seen all season.
They've been a lot better since they got blown out by the Cowboys. I think
a lot better, yeah. But a receiver is going to score against the Lions this week.
Oh yeah,
it's a given, and you just hope it's DJ Moore.
We got 2 California boys playing quarterback. They don't like the cold that much, so.
I love the running backs here. I think DeAndre Swift and Jamal are both in for a big game. And on the Panthers side, like I said, I think you can play Foreman. I'd be a little more scared about Chuba, but I think Deontay's a play.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. Just another ugly game. I think this could be a low scoring, 17-13 type of game.
Seahawks at the Chiefs. Seahawks, no Tyler Lockett, so I love DK Metcalf play this week.
And I like Noah Fant.
Yeah, I was going to say Fant, and if you're feeling risky, Marquise Goodwin.
Yeah, I don't hate it.
I don't love it.
You're hoping for lightning in a bottle, right?
Yeah, I don't love that.
He's going to catch a bomb, but if he doesn't, you're going to get burned. So, no, those are the guys you're playing. You're still playing Geno. He's still been good. Chiefs are not known to have, the best secondary. I think they have a good defense. Chris Jones is going to get after you, but are you playing K9? He didn't look great, but I know he's coming off injury.
I think you're probably going to play K9 against the Chiefs defense. They're not some stud defense like you said. And I also like on the Chiefs side of the ball, Juju Smith has looked consistent, besides the first week back from the concussion. Last week he was pretty good, 10 points. And Seahawks aren't a shutdown defense either. I think Juju can find the end zone again.
Yeah, obviously you're starting Kelsey, and then we talked about McKinnon maybe being a flex play.
Yeah.
I don't love Pacheco this week. I liked it a little bit more last week, but I thought he was going to show me a little something, and he coughed up the rock and didn't look great.
No.
So obviously, if you got Mahomes, that's your guy. That's the guy you want in the Chiefs.
Yeah. Saints and the Browns. This is going to be another disturbing game, possibly. Maybe Deshaun Watson has his coming out party. Probably not. And you're sitting here with if Chubb doesn't play, I think you can hop all over the Kareem Hunt bus again. But that's really about all I like with the Browns. I don't like the receivers or the tight ends this week.
Yeah, it's a good Saints defense, like we talked about. On the other side, like Juwan Johnson had a great game. You can maybe go back to him.
Yeah, that's my
And then
guy.
this is Kamara make or break. He's not been great. He looked a little better last week. The Browns ranked 30th in rush defense.
Yep.
So if Kamara can't have a big game this week, you're going to be out of the playoffs.
Yeah,
And
you're
he's a
definitely
guy
packing your bags.
depending on your options, like, is he a guy you think about benching?
I think you would if it was a different team. But as soon as you see 30th in run defense, you gotta.
You see that green.
Yeah, it's green. You gotta play your guys. But it's definitely a risky play. Texas at the Titans. I mean, we got a sick holidays lineup. I need to talk to somebody about this. This is gross.
You're playing King, and that's it. I don't see a realistic scenario where you're playing a Chris Moore and Nico Collins. Damian Pierce is gonna be out. Like
maybe in week 5, maybe in week 6, but for all the marbles, money time, you can't play Nico Collins right now. No. Respectfully, no, it can't happen. This is a red light game. Derrick Henry's the only guy I'm touching.
Yeah, even if Tannehill plays, I don't know if I love Traylon Burks if he plays. If Tannehill plays, I might go with Okonkwo again. But if Tannehill doesn't play, red light, 100%.
Bengals at the Patriots. Can the Patriots rebound?
This is gonna be a good game, I think. The Patriots are gonna have a good defense. Mondre looked good last week, but from a fantasy standpoint on the Patriots side, outside of Ramondre Stevenson, and maybe we get Damian Harris back this week too, which gives him a little, tick down, I think.
Yeah, but you can't play Damian though, no.
I don't know if you're starting anyone besides Ramondre.
Nah, Jacoby's on punishment.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jacoby's grounded for that shit.
Doghouse for sure.
For sure.
On the other side, though, seems like it's a go. You're still playing Jamar. You're still playing Mixon. T. Higgins looked good and healthy last week, so you're playing him. I don't know if I'm reaching to Tyler Boyd or Hayden Hurst, but
it's unfortunate. You're playing a Patriots team where, that Chase and Higgins aren't both going to have a good game, but you got to play both of them.
Yeah.
And Tyler Boyd's actually probably bound for a good game.
Absolutely, because they're going to double.
They're going to double
Kamar,
and the best corner is going to on T. So Tyler Boyd's low key bound for a good game, but that'd be a risky play. But he's bound for a game.
I feel like that's like playing Marquise Goodwin in the flex. You're just hoping for this big game out of nowhere. He scores 2 touchdowns, which it could happen. Like we talked about, they're going to take away your best players. So
they are for sure.
Someone else is going to have to step up. But maybe it's Mixon, maybe it's P. Ryan. We don't know.
We get the 2 most agile quarterbacks in football next. We got Daniel Jones and the Giants against Kirk Cousins at the Vikings.
Man, the Giants got their duo in Daniel Jones and Saquon that you've been starting all year. But I still don't know if I'm trusting Darius Slayton or anyone from the receiving corps.
He cooled off last week, only 5 fantasy points, so that was a little disheartening. So it makes it tough to play moving forward in the money time. Vikings, I think you like the boys, and Adam Thielen is bound to bounce back. You had a big KJ Osborne game.
Had a touchdown though.
KJ's not doing that back-to-back weeks.
No. Thielen had a touchdown. You did call it.
He just loves the red zone. This is shit.
Dalvin Kirk and JJ are your guys, and then if you're looking for a wide receiver 3 flex play, I don't think Thielen's that bad of a play this week.
Last 1:00 game on Saturday, we got the Bills at the Bears. This could be a fun one. It could be freezing cold, but both of these teams love the cold, so no one's worried about that.
Yeah, the Bears are exciting. They played the Eagles pretty tough. Fields is unbelievable again. But fantasy-wise, he's the only guy you're playing outside Montgomery.
There you go. Yeah, him and David, you start both of them for sure.
But we're getting Herbert back.
I don't care.
I understand. You're still playing him.
We're playing David.
I just want everyone to understand, Montgomery is going up against a good Bills team. He's getting his RB2 back. But he's going to get the volume. He's getting 20 touches, and that's really what you need in fantasy because it's what he can do with those touches.
20 touches and goal line carries. Those are 2 things that we love. From the Bills, you're starting obviously the QB and the wide receiver 1, Mr. Diggs. But after that, you're kind of both teams have tight ends that could boom in Cole Kmet and Dawson Knox. So those are those guys where you're like, damn, I got Mark Andrews and Dawson Knox. Like, shit. All right. Those are the ones.
Yeah, I benched Dawson last week, and I think I'm going to play him this week. But again, I don't know if like he can do that back-to-back weeks.
Yep.
Just because the Bills have so many weapons, like we are so due for a Gabe Davis game, and I know you've been dogging him all year, but it's coming, man. It has
Washed. I smell a big cold commit week. If it's going to be super cold, I can see Fields doing a lot of low, small drag routes and quick passes to Cole. Receiving course, god awful there, and Chase Claypool has done zero benefit to that offense. Slide into the 4 p.m. slate. Only got 2 games for dinner time. Commanders at the Niners. This would be a battle of the backup quarterbacks.
I don't know. This could get ugly. 49ers might.
You say Brock Purdy could be that guy?
I just think the 49ers defense is that unit.
Oh, it's insane. They're so good.
Like D'Amico Ryans has those boys humming, and like Commanders kind of got screwed last week, Sunday night against the Giants, but they're just fading at the wrong time. Unfortunately, I know they're in the playoff hunt right now, but it's looking like this could be a loss for the Commanders, which might be big for my Leos.
Could be huge, and like I said, I don't think Chase Young is playing this week either. It doesn't look like it, at least, and that's a key part to that defense, taking the next step. So I agree. With the Commanders, you got to go B-Rob and Scary Terry.
Yeah.
Dotson has had a couple of good weeks. I just don't know if you can start him money time against a great defense like the 49ers, though.
It'd be great if this was like week 6 and we're like, all right, Dotson's really coming along right now. But no, it's the semifinals, and like
it's week 16.
If Dotson goes off on your bench, you live with that. But you're not going to live with it if you start him and he lays you an egg.
You're going to be sick.
Like
you're going to be like, I knew I should have started that guy.
Right. You got a good player like Christian Kirk or someone on your bench, and you're playing, someone that you really don't need to be playing right now. But 49ers sign Ayuk kind of hurt a lot of people last week. He was a big dud. But again, Thursday night, so everyone just has to, understand it's not going to be like the Sunday slates on a short rest.
But Kittle cut in half, they say.
Kittle looked great, and then McCaffrey's still getting played, obviously.
Oh yeah, 100%. He's that guy. Eagles at the Cowboys, good rivalry here. Return of Dallas Goedert. Gardner Minshew appears to be back in action. Hurts has not been officially ruled out yet, but he hasn't practiced all week, so I doubt he plays. This is gonna be an interesting game.
Yeah, I think it hurts A.J. Brown, Goddard, and Devonta Smith a little bit, but those are still 3 guys that you're probably still playing, even if Minshew's playing quarterback.
That sucks for you, but yeah, it does. That's true.
Devonta
you love
Smith,
Miles
maybe
Sanders.
Not,
you love Miles Sanders this week.
You're playing A.J. Brown. You love Miles Sanders. And you're probably playing Goddard if he's back. The last game that Minshew played with Goddard, he had like 2 touchdowns and like 100-something yards. Yeah,
Minshew does like to fling it. It's not like he's a guy that's going to come in and like hand it off a lot.
Absolutely.
But I mean, I just don't know how much he flings it to the wrong team, and that's kind of worrying me about his play.
I'm worried about Pollard and Zeke this week, though, for sure.
You got to play them both, though, which is the unfortunate spot you're in.
Well, I'm benching Pollard right now because, like we talked about Kamara, this is the week he's got to do it. Maybe I bench him for Ramondre Stevenson. Maybe that's the play. And then Aaron Jones, I got to play.
You got to start Stevenson.
I think so. That's why Pollard found his way on the bench.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I like CD Lamb here. Noah Brown had a big week, but I don't expect that to happen again. And Dalton Schwartz, he hurt you last week, so he could rebound this week, especially against a good defense like this.
Yeah, Eagles defense are first in interceptions and sacks, so I am a little worried about the Dak play, but the points the Cowboys have been putting up with Dak, I know he's been turning the ball over a lot, but they're still finding the end zone. They're still a good unit on offense, so I think you're still riding with your guy.
I agree. And then we wrap up Saturday night with the Raiders at the Steelers. Reliving some history here, but this game is not going to be historical. I'll tell you that. This is, I mean, if the Raiders lose this game, Derek Carr's a fraud.
I think he already is a fraud.
Me too. Steelers can mess around and win this game.
They could. No, easily. I mean,
yeah.
I'm not like scared of the Raiders at all.
Nope.
You're still playing Devontae Adams. I think you're playing Waller. And you're playing
maybe Jacobs.
Of course. No, Jacobs is a lineup lock. No doubt. But like, in a 2-quarterback league, I don't know if I'm trusting Derek Carr.
Yeah, you can't trust Carr, and that's tough for Jacobs as well. I mean, this is still a very good run D with T.J. Watt being back. They held last week running back to 11 yards on like 10 carries. So Jacobs is definitely a lot better than last week. So you expect him to still be able to find the end zone, but it's definitely potential there for like Jacobs to struggle a little bit. The Steelers are like the way Bill Belichick shuts down your best receiver. The Steelers like to shut down at least your best running back and make you use other ways to beat them a lot.
But on the flip side, like I think Kenny Pickett's going to be back, which is good. But do you really feel good about starting any Steeler?
Deontay Johnson had a good
any
week.
Steeler.
Deontay had a good week, had a good game, gave you like 12 fantasy points, and that was like his best game of the season. But yeah, I don't know if you feel good, like confidently starting him again. I think Najee Harris lands in the Tony Pollard, Alvin Kamara bucket of
I think he's a little below
maybe.
that just because we're seeing a lot of Jalen Warren. And I mean, obviously they're trying to keep him healthy, but Najee just hasn't had that burst that we saw last year. He's been a little bit slower. Maybe he's still a little bit injured from that foot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, depending on your situation, Najee might be a guy you still got to play.
I mean, Oakland's not some great defense either, so you think that it's not going to be a high-scoring game because Steelers can't pass the ball for shit. So some running back's going to get involved here, and you can't start.
Max Crosby's going to get after Max Crosby's going to get after Pickett for sure.
Oh yeah, or Mitch Trubisky, whatever one. Yeah, one Sunday 1:00 game. Got the Packers at the Dolphins.
I'm excited for this one.
This could be like finally we get into some good football, good game here. The Dolphins, I think it's a go. I think you're playing the crew.
Yeah. Depending on Jeff Wilson, like we talked about last week, if Wilson's out, you play Mostert. That's just how it goes. And then the boys, you're playing Tua and there's two receivers.
Got to. That's a must. Packers defense hasn't been anything special. As far as the Packers side, Christian Watson finally did not score first time since week 10. He hasn't found the end zone. You're curious if he kind of rebounds from that. And obviously you're playing Aaron Jones, but the A.J. Dillon dilemma is here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like the running backs. I don't think this is like, a stout Dolphins D where you can't play anyone against them. But yeah, Dillon's a guy where I don't know if I feel great about starting him because if you're starting Dillon, you're relying on him to fall in the end zone. And if he doesn't fall in the end zone, he's not going to have a good game. Whereas Aaron Jones is going to get some receptions, he's going to get some carries. He can produce without scoring. But obviously, fantasy score makes everything better.
Yeah, I mean, I'd argue Aaron Jones is probably the most important player on that offense. Obviously, not counting Aaron Rodgers, but yeah, Aaron Jones they do everything through Aaron Jones on that offense, receiving, running, blocking. So I love that Aaron Jones played this week, but this could be a pretty good game. Sunday 4:30, take a nap. Broncos at the Rams. Tons of backups in this game. I like Latavius Murray is like the only possible play I could see in this game. Maybe Cam Akers if you're like for some reason just in like injury hell.
Yeah, man. Especially if Rippon plays again. I don't like any Broncos pass catchers, and I don't like any Rams pass catchers, no matter who the quarterback is.
No, not at all. This is a sick game. We won't waste too much time there. Sunday night gets better. Sunday night gets a little better.
Bucks playing the Cardinals. But we're getting Trace McSorley, so that's a little unfortunate. They were building this game up to be Brady, Kyler. Both these teams are probably going to be competing in the NFC. That's not the case. The Bucks are still in the playoff hunt because of the sorry NFC South.
So bad.
But I'm still starting Godwin, I think. I don't know. You're probably starting Mike.
I was going to say, how's your Mike Evans love right now?
I don't know if anyone that has Mike Evans is in this spot. Like, as bad as that is to say.
He's already cost you your playoff spot already.
Probably. And then playoff Lenny hasn't looked like anything special, unfortunately. So the Bucks is scary, but if you have Bucks players, you've been, kind of doing this dance all season. So you might as well just keep going with it.
Finish the dance, finish the song. I do like the Godwin play. He's been exceptional. Mm-hmm. Man, the Cardinals, I like James Conner, especially with a third-string quarterback. They're going to rely on James a lot. But I mean, it gets scary hours from everything goes from there. I mean, you can't play Hollywood Brown, in my opinion, with a third-string quarterback. And DeAndre Hopkins, I think, is a possible flex option just based on who he is.
Yeah, I'm worried about receivers, but I think you're playing Hopkins just because he's Hopkins.
I don't know. I think I might bench Hopkins for A.J. Dillon or Latavius Murray.
You let me know how that goes. We will talk
Ah,
about that next week.
yeah. Monday Night Football, wrap up the week. Chargers at the Colts. Jeff Saturday's back at home. He's got a lot of fans might be booing when they walk into the building this week.
Wouldn't be
Um,
surprised.
Chargers, I think the Chargers got to come all out and show that they're actually a really good team. I'm looking for a lot of scoring in this game. Austin Eckler, Mike Will, Kenny Allen, Gerald Everett, play everybody. I'm looking for like kind of like a revival game for this Chargers offense.
Yeah, we're gonna see if the Colts are, gonna take that and kind of, bounce back and live with it, or if they're just gonna kind of turtle. And what better team to come in than the Chargers' high-powered offense to really test this Colts team? Besides Pittman on the Colts, though, I don't. And now we got news that Nick Foles is starting.
It's really
Scary
nasty.
hours for sure.
That's really tough. I guess the biggest question is the running back room there. Is this a plug and play offense where you're just dropping in former Bills Zach Moss and you're just dropping in Deion Jackson here to make up for Jonathan Taylor?
I think maybe like 2 years ago when everyone was talking about how good this offensive line was with Quentin Nelson and Kelly, but they've just not been that good of a unit this year. Their offense has been bad. Matt Ryan's been getting killed. Now we got Nick Foles in, so you're thinking maybe he's a little bit more mobile. But no, I don't really think I can trust Zach Moss. And even Deion Jackson's looked good this season when he's had the opportunity. It's money time, Myron.
Money time. You can't take those leaps of faith.
No.
Those are the ones that keep you up for the whole off season, thinking about why you played Zach Moss in the Week 16 playoffs, and you sat Najee Harris, or you sat Alvin Kamara, you sat Tony
Raheem Mostert. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you gotta play the guys you drafted early at this point. Hopefully Mike Williams brings his heat that he brought last week. He got the cleats of the week for us with
Fire.
the fly we back cleats. Hopefully he can kind of bring that into Lucas Oil Stadium and have a good game for that Chargers team.
Yeah, I agree. And then if you want to talk about it, Myron, your boy took the win in the survival. So I now have a 4-3 lead.
It's like a 2-game win streak. You won like 3 of your last 4 games, I think. This is on bull.
Hey, we're picking right at the right time, and I'm gonna start it off kind of controversial, but I don't really care because he's my favorite player of all time. Give me the GOAT. Give me Tom Brady.
Oh wow, you really liking this matchup against a third string quarterback? Offense has been bad all season. Maybe this is this has to be the game that they prove that they're
prime time worries me a little bit, but now that he's a single guy, I think he's more up for the night games. Before he wanted to get home to the family, see the wife. Now it's like he's got nowhere to be.
This is past Tom's bedtime. He's not trying to play. He's not trying to be balling this late at night. I'll go ahead with the QB spot as well, man. I've been playing around, taking other guys, this and that. Let me go ahead and get Patty Mahomes. Let's just do it. Come on. Yeah, it's time. It's time. I can't keep
I can't blame you on that one. For my pick, I did take that guy. So I'm gonna pivot a little bit and let me get Jalen Waddle.
Oh, he did me well. Jalen was nice.
Yep. I think Jair Alexander's maybe gonna guard Tyreek, so hoping for another big Waddle game.
It's gonna be a cold game, means maybe a lot of running. Let's stay with the NFC North team that's used to the cold. I'm gonna go with Dalvin Cook.
Ooh, running back spot. Aaron Jones. I like that. I do like that play. All right, so I am gonna go back when we first started this week 1. I picked a guy. He ended up not playing. Let me get Alvin Kamara.
You're really gonna test. You really pulling out the testers this week. You're picking a bunch of bad guys who have been bad all season to see if they can save you when it matters. Interesting strategy.
Wait for the next pick too.
I'm gonna go ahead and take Aaron Jones. I do appreciate that. Need to go ahead and get the cold running backs, and I've been going receiver for my flex spot, and it's been killing me. I haven't been winning clearly, so I'm gonna switch it up and go Aaron Jones.
So I am gonna go receiver. He's looked fantastic since he's come back. Let me get Keenan Allen Monday night.
Oh, that's big. I like that.
I don't think I've taken him. I gotta confirm.
I'm gonna go with the return of Dallas Goedert.
That's a good pick. Let me get Dawson Knox.
Oh, I like that.
Let me finish it off with Dawson Knox.
I like that one.
Round off the team.
I'll take my wide receiver here. You talked about this quarterback throwing lots of picks, but offense still been scoring points. Let me go ahead and try CD Lamb for the week.
Ooh, okay. I mean, they got to keep up with the Eagles. I don't hate that pick. Yes, sir.
Alrighty, this is money time. You know, managers put up or shut up. This is it. If you're paying a guy who owns Jalen Hurts, I recommend you go in and pick up all the quarterbacks on the waiver wire. Just pick them all up. So he does that.
Hey, if you don't hear from us next week, that means this week did not go well.
Yeah, I mean, we lost 4 playoff games. That means we just got cooked.
Yeah, man, I need to get to at least 2 finals.
Hey, man, we're 1 game away from the finals. 1 game away.
Let's get it.
Money time. Until next week, y'all. We'll be back. Another episode of Sports Time with my Fantasy Football Edition.